Hey everybody, Mike Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own hot cutting knife. And we're going to talk about the Woodland Scenes foam cutter, but I'm going to show you what I do. So let's cut some foam. Okay gang, I think there's probably a lot of videos out there of using the Woodland Scenic's hot foam cutter. This is what it looks like. It has another rung that goes out and makes this thing wider. But I found that this works for me. You basically just twist the nichrome wire around here. And I'm just going to do a little demo real quick on this one because I've used this one here. I don't know if you guys have seen me using it here or not. But we're going to use it and I'll show you how it works. You ready? Watch close. Just take it nice and slow. And you can see that there's some smoke coming off of there. And it's probably not good to breathe that. Although when you use this foam cutter, it produces so little of it that I don't know if I'm too worried about it, okay? I am not an EPA guy. I don't know anything. I don't profess to know anything about it. I'm just saying that there's very little of it, and just try not to breathe it when you're using this tool. But you can see how nicely it cuts. If you're going in and doing the edge of a river or whatever, you know, you can do a nice like beveled, or you know, you can do a random edge on your river. Something like that, which is what I intend to do. But so much for the demonstration on the Woodland Scenics tool. I'll put a link to it down below. But so much for the Woodland Scenics tool. Now what I want to show you is some things that didn't work. Okay, I guess I fall in the kind of a redneck category or something. But this was one of my ideas. This is a piece of phosphor bronze wire wrapped around the end of the soldering gun. Not an iron, but a soldering gun. Held this for minutes and minutes and minutes. The only thing that got hot was about an inch of each side of this loop. And let me tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cut a riverbed out. And I've exhausted my ideas. And we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, this did not work. At least in this configuration. It possibly would have worked if I would have clamped the phosphor bronze wire in a shape in here, but I don't know if it would have melted the phosphor bronze wire. I didn't want to take the time to do it. I just came up with another idea. But anyway, in my case, this didn't work. Let me show you one more item that didn't work. And that was this one. This didn't work either. I wound up with kind of the same thing as I wound up with the gun, and that is that the phosphor bronze only got hot for a short distance here. I don't know, it just didn't work. So another idea down the drain, but don't bother trying this one. Now what I'm going to do, guys, is show you what did work. Okay guys, for what I'm going to show you, you're going to need two things. And I believe in this case, this is a must. One of them is a respirator. This one here I've had for an extremely long time. I used it when I used to paint with flow quill paints because it is for, let me see if I can get this in there, organic vapors, mists, and paints, lacquers, enamels, dust, mists, fumes, asbestos contaminating dusts. Okay, you want to make sure that you have this type of filter. If you have one that has changeable filters, you want to make sure you have this type of filters to filter out the bad stuff. Okay, I've had, like I said, I've had this for quite some time. It has worked extremely well. You guys have seen them before, and you'll hear me talking through it in the video. Okay, I'll be talking like this, but I won't be breathing what I don't want to breathe. Okay? So here's the other tool that you'll need. And if you didn't hear that, here's the other tool you need. I know this looks a little bit drastic, and let me back up. I don't know if some of you have one of these. It's one of the coolest tools I've ever bought, especially if you have to do any soldering of pipe around the house or anything. It is a Bernzomatic Autolite TS 8000 torch. Okay, it's absolutely 500 times better than the old Bernzomatic torches that you used to light with the little, you know. This guy here, you simply turn on the gas, you switch it to on, and you light it and you let go. So as you're using it, you use it for a second, you let go, you set the thing down. Use it, let go, set it down. It's handier than a pocket on a shirt. But anyway, I would recommend, if you don't think you need one of these for your model railroad, that you get one for around the house, because they are super handy, okay? But this is the other tool we're going to need, and now I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, I couldn't figure out a way to gouge out my 2-inch foam for a riverbed, and I have yet to cut the edges to what I want them to be. And I'm not too concerned about what the depth is here, because I can fill this in with plaster to whatever level I want, or fill it in with newspaper and then fill it in with plaster. I did something that was relatively deep. So, as you can see, I have achieved that. I'm not going to continue on over there until I get the lake done that we talked about before. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how I got this out of here eventually. And here's another item that I wasn't able to show you just a minute ago. This guy. This and 2 other knives I bought at the dollar store. 3 knives for $1. Okay? About 30 cents a piece. 33 cents a piece. 33 1/3 cents a piece if you want to get technical. But anyways, nevertheless, what I did is I have a vise. You could do it with anything. You could do it with the floor. I took that torch and I heated it up right in here. And as you can see, it melted the handle a little bit. I don't care. I heated it up right here. It only took a few minutes to get it, not even minutes, a few seconds to get it red hot. When I got it red hot, I put it in the vise and bent it. You could stick it on a concrete floor, not on the foam, obviously, but you could stick it on a concrete floor, push on it, and bend it so that you have something you can work with down inside here. If you wanted it shorter or you wanted a narrower river or ditch, you bend it in a shorter area here, okay? The bend determines how wide you want to work with, not necessarily how wide your river will be, because certainly if you had this skinnier, you could gouge out a couple of times, okay? But let me get a piece of scrap foam and I will show you how I did this. Okay guys, as I showed you, this is what I'm wearing, because you're going to see why here in just a minute. And the stuff, the fumes that come off of this, with that large of a knife, cutting this stuff, is pretty horrendous. I definitely recommend one of these. Let's take a look. Okay guys, here's what we need to do. We're going to heat up our knife, shake it to get the fire out. I've already experimented on this piece, but you can cut your river end to whatever depth that you want it to cut. Then you can come in from the end, if you can get to the end. You can cut across, you can cut down in, like so. You can put the knife down and pull it out, like so, okay? That's how I worked my way down with the hot knife. When the knife cools off again, we simply do the thing all over again. And like I say, you can come in from the side and cut across.
And you can keep working your way down until you get what you want. Okay, it's not, certainly not, well, it's hard to do on camera, and you can get better at it, but it's certainly not the neatest way to do it, but to me, it's the easiest way I know how to do it. So now, let me go get my, the Woodland Scenic tool, and we'll finish up the edges.
Okay, now I'm guessing you guys can hear me better. And we're going to take the Woodland Scenic tool and we're going to carve in our edges. And you don't really have to be super neat with this tool because you're going to be putting plaster in this anyway. You always want to put plaster in the bottom of your rivers and stuff because you definitely don't want the liquid to leak out if you're using two-part epoxy. Okay? But what I'm trying to show you here is that you can come back in after you have done the river bottom and you can put in a nice clean edge with the Woodland Scenic tool. Then we just go in with our plaster cloth, lay it down in here, lay it back up the edge. We can build the edge up to whatever we want to build it to. So anyway, I guess that's today's tip or lesson, if you want, on how I'm cutting and digging down the foam. And I hope this helps some of you. And I guess that's about it for today. Okay, gang. I hope that helped you out with cutting a little bit of foam. I hope you have the equipment to do it. If not, you might be able to substitute something else. You need to be careful with the open flame, as I said, and the respirator is a must. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.